Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's going on? Rebel Advocates in the building. Apologies about yesterday. Technical difficulties yesterday, But we're here today. What's going on, peoples? What's going on, peoples? As you can see today, we're going to talk about coercive control, what it is, and what kind of things come under that. So we'll go through some of that, guys. Who's here? Is anybody here?
Yeah, what's happening, man? What's happening, guys?
Man like Artie. Artie's here. What's going on? You right?
All good, man. How you been, all right?
Sound as a pound. Is anyone else here?
Yo,
Who's that? Johnny.
yo.
Man like Johnny. What's going on?
There, man. There. That's chilling right now. How's things for you, all right?
Sound, mate. Can't complain. Cannot complain. Even if I would, nobody would listen anyway. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
So we're going to go into this coercive control. You man know about that thing?
Yeah.
What is it? This, let's have a look at this. This coercive.
It's a funny one, isn't it? It's like you said there, isn't it, teacher? What is it? And it comes under quite a broad band, you know what I mean? Because when I was looking up stuff earlier on, it was coming under the like the domestic abuse banner, you know what I mean? Although it has separate sort of statistics and stuff, it's under that as well, you know what I'm saying?
It is under that. It is. Go on.
Yeah, and it's a thing that's on the rise now. Sort of cases are rising every year. You see a lot of stuff in the media and stuff, but yeah, it seems to be rising sort of.
So anyway, listen.
104.
Go on. Sorry, no, go on. No, sorry, go on.
No, I'm just saying. Just briefly. It seems to be rising in the sort of number of cases every year by large amounts. I mean, 141,000 last year, and it's going up by a decent amount every year. You know what I mean? But it's a broad spectrum, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I was going to go through it. So, like, coercive control refers to a pattern of behavior used by one person to exert control and dominance over another person in an intimate or familiar relationship. It sounds like sounds like that guy, that YouTube guy, was doing something like that, wasn't he? Remember Johnny?
Oh, you talk. Oh, I know. Yeah,
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yes, indeed.
And the law defines, what does it say? The law defines coercive control as behavior that is controlling or coercive and has serious effect on the victim, causing them fear, violence, or causing them serious alarm or distress. That has a substantial adverse effect on their day-to-day activities.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the examples, yeah? Isolating the victim from family and friends, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Monitoring and controlling their movements and activities. Mm-hmm. Depriving them of basic needs such as food, sleep, or access to money. I'm just laughing at what kind of madman or person is doing stuff like this, you understand?
Exactly.
Threatening or intimidating the victim, controlling or monitoring their communications, including phone calls or social media, gaslighting or manipulating the victim's perception of reality, yeah? Repeatedly criticizing, belittling or humiliating the victim, using surveillance or stalking tactics. Wow, that was deep, that one there. You understand?
Isn't it? Going in, mate, you know what I mean?
That was deep. Yeah, so what do you guys think about them? All the 8 of them things there. What do you think about that? Listen, this is something that's been around, right? Because if there were all these other things, they obviously kind of decided to wrap it up for people, right? And try and get some kind of, put it under the one banner, because it's something that's always been around, isn't it? Some of these things, we know this behavior, right?
Yeah, of course. You've heard of it gone back decades and all different backgrounds, isn't it? But yeah, it's interesting, like you said, that it is so wide and all of those different things sort of encompass that. But yeah, the things you listed there, teacher, surely, yeah, that has, you'd have to sort of gauge that as general coercive behaviour if you're behaving like that. But like you said, those are more extreme ones. But it is hard to define. And like you said, with all the other stuff going on now, with all these other cases coming out of so-called coercive behaviour, and then people getting off of it, not getting off of it, you know what I mean? There's a grey area there, but you're still seeing a massive rise in it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's always been there, but maybe people are reporting it more.
That's what I think. It's getting more reported more, because I
Yeah,
know that
definitely.
stuff was there already before. I don't know. Go on.
But I think, though, maybe in sort of people from different backgrounds, it's really weird. Like, you know, like sort of way back when, sort of even if you went to 70s and stuff like that, like you said, you couldn't go moreover and try to report anything more, because nothing would happen anyway. Sort of no one would press anything. But then what some people might argue is the stats are rising all the time, but you've still got to judge separate cases on their merits, you know what I mean? Because they slip around. I was reading about in Australia, they said 1.4 million Australian men have sort of had sort of coercive sort of behaviour, you know what I mean, targeted at them, which is quite a lot still, you know what I mean?
It's nuts. It's a lot.
So it's not just you know what I mean, men trying to manipulate and control women. There's a lot of women that do the same as well. It's not as much generally, and sort of the stats will bear that out, but it happens a lot still, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's weird. If you are a human and you're behaving in some of those ways there, you have to really question yourself, you know what I mean? And what else would they say? Like, is it just a general thing, like with life and sort of people that just like to control and coerce? But I don't know about you guys, but it's sort of that sort of behaviour, that just, it doesn't register with me, you know what I mean?
I hear that. I
mean, what was man saying there? You set up cameras and that, you know what I mean?
And surveillance and them thing there. That's a bit mad.
Yeah,
still,
you know what I mean? Not laughing,
crazy.
Funny, like man said, but like you said, John, it has literally bananas in it. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
It kind of, to me, it kind of sounds like it kind of crosses into like stuff like that, into like some psychopathic behavior, because if you're setting up surveillance and camera and them something there, there's something. There's a screw loose, man.
Screw loose.
Yeah,
it's a bit much.
It.
It's a bit much.
I know my neighbour. She's got to have an alarm on her door. Yeah, I mean, because of the baby part. But yeah, he's a madman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot because I know. Go on.
No, I understand these people there, innit? They don't let go, innit? They just want to be in control all the time. You know what I mean?
No, I know of some women like that where they've gone through a bad breakup and it's like they go to the police for help and then they put them on some red alert thing, innit? So if anything, like you said, if anything did happen, as soon as they call, the police have to respond in a certain amount of time, and it's like that there was through the like controlling and get me certain things, and it's like when the woman tells them to go and they're not hearing it, innit, and they're like, go where? I ain't going nowhere, innit? They do the Leonardo DiCaprio thing and get me, I'm not leaving, you know that one. I'm not going nowhere, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. And it's like, it's mad still, Artie, because it's like you need to know when enough is enough. You get it? Like I remember when I did say, I did think I did have one or two of them traits. You get it? Where if I'm with a woman, I'll tell her, like, not tell her, but I'd advise her and say, I don't think it's a good idea you hanging around with that like girl, like family members. I get me. You get me. I don't have. Get me. I can't talk on family members, but if I know certain friends they're hanging around with that aren't good for them, and I'll try and advise them and say, "Yo, stop hanging around with that girl, or whatever in it." But
Does that?
Yeah, there's a
Does
fine
that?
line though,
Hold
isn't
on,
it?
hold on,
That's a
hold on,
fine
hold on,
line.
yeah,
hold
that's
on,
what I'm
hold on,
saying
hold on, hold
because
on, hold on, hold on,
it's
hold on,
got to a
hold on,
stage
hold on,
before
hold on,
where
hold on.
maybe maybe I may have been too. Oh, sorry.
Hold on, yeah. Does that come under the
Go on.
coercive? Yeah. Does that come under it? Because what you're saying,
What
what
my
your thing,
what
what you're
my
saying.
yeah, because it can come under controlling, innit? Remember you said it. Some of it has come under some controlling thing, innit? Controlling behavior.
Yeah, but listen,
But I think,
you're
sorry,
saying, okay, like if you're talking about somebody or whatever, you're telling somebody, hey, don't hang around with that person
mm,
Mm-hmm.
because they're bad news or whatever. Guaranteed, you got a reason, right?
Yeah, of course. There's never no reason. There's always some substance behind it.
Isn't it? Don't talk to nobody is the one. You understand? Instead of hey, don't hang around stupid people. Or do you understand?
Yeah,
That's for both
yeah.
of you. Go on, go on, go on.
You could look at it like that, but obviously, when I've done it, I've always got the thing back like, oh, you always think you can tell me what to do, and I'm like, but I'm just it. It's because I care for you. I don't
yeah,
want to see you. Get me? I'm trying to give you advice, but you always think you're right all the time and telling me what to do, and so to me, I'm just giving good advice, but maybe they could look at it like this guy's always trying to control me, or right. I don't see it as being controlling, but I've heard it more than one instance, so it's starting to register with me now. Like maybe it is like some
I
type
don't know.
of
I don't
control.
think so, man. I think like the teacher. I think if you're trying to isolate your partner and say, right, you can't meet anybody, you can't go out, you can't do anything, you have to just stay in, then that's different. If there's someone that you think, or even them towards you as well, the same way going back, if they think, oh, this guy so and so is a bit of an idiot or she's an idiot, I think you're well within your right to maybe say something maybe in a certain way, you know what I mean? But like I said, it is still a very fine line because they might think, oh shit, man, I'm just trying to do my thing, have fun, and this guy is telling me, oh, don't see so and so. But like you said, you'd like to think you're not saying that without reason. So I would more consider that reasonable advice, teacher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's a little, yeah, it's like that one's like advising, as you said it. I like the way you said it. That's like advising them, innit? Hey, choose your friends a little bit better. But I don't know if that one's the control. If you're telling them, boy, you can't see nobody, yeah, you're staying in the yard on your ones, and that's it. Don't call nobody.
Yeah,
Furthermore, I got your phone.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
a
your
bit
phone.
different.
I got your cards. You understand? That's the madness.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I think,
you
like
said,
you said, isolation, isn't it? If you're trying to isolate your partner and just say, boy, that's it, you ain't going nowhere. You're just staying here, you know what I mean? You're just chilling here, nothing else is going out, then that's definitely coercive. But if you're just like a person that you think's a bit of an idiot, you're well within your rights, man, to turn around and say. But it is a fine line because at the end of the day, whether we feel or think it, we might think so and so, and like they might think, well, that's his thoughts or his beliefs, but they're still going to jump and do their thing, you know what I mean? Possibly sometimes, and then it might create an issue later on, you know what I mean? But
so what
you
about
can
the
only
thingy? What
say
about
your thing, innit?
What about because you did say one of you said something about going the other way. What about the other way? Because I didn't see anything about it going against men.
Well, that was the thing I just saw there about. I think on general the figures are like say 7,000 or 8,000 down or per year sort of with the men. But there's a lot of men, like I said in the Australian one, it's crazy, like 1.4 million men. You know what I mean?
No. You were saying that the men are doing it, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm saying yeah. So if
you
the
were
men
saying
are
that,
controlling, and if
yeah,
they're doing that solely trying to isolate their
get
partner,
it, 100%.
then for me that's the true coercive nature, isn't it? if you were doing that in a relationship and you're not letting them breathe or do anything, then that's it. But I think when we're saying, or you might say, or I might say, oh, look, you know what, so-and-so, I say, well, boy, you know, I think so-and-so's a plonker, but you're still going to jam, innit? You're going to jam, but...
Totally.
Yeah.
No, we get that. No, I was saying, what
Sorry.
about it reverse? Against the man, not the man doing it. The woman doing it against the man. What about that? Because I didn't see none of that stuff. Did you?
I've not really seen a lot of it about in my time, but it must happen, innit? Like you said, there's you know what I mean? There's evidence sort of backing it up, but you don't hear of it as much, or maybe if it does, the man ain't too forthright in openly talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but does that kind of
go on.
with certain scenarios that we've been seeing going on, would that fall under with like false accusations against people? Would that fall under that type of?
You possibly could argue that, yeah. If you say all these scandals that are broken in the media, people have got off of long-term charges, spent time in prison over stuff that was said they done, and sort of they were supposed to have manipulated and engineered the situation. So generally, they were accused of coercive behaviour. But if you flipped it 360, like Teacher said, arguably, you would say those individuals that were involved in that business, more time they were trying to coerce because they were trying to link the man then to get in. You know what I'm saying?
What you man? Are you trying to talk about like them people that was behind the door, them certain footballers, for example?
Yeah. Just that situation. Sorry.
Does that come under it though? Does that come under it as them women doing that? I'm not sure. After all them readouts that we read out, it doesn't flow under that, does it? Or does it? What do you think, Johnny?
I don't know, man.
Well, they are trying to control them in a way, innit? Because it's like you're trying to control what's going on, innit? You're trying to control them basically,
so they can extract the money. They're trying to extract the money.
Yeah, it's to do with money.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose more with those individuals, they just looked to try and extract something. They couldn't get what they wanted. They maybe tried to throw their hands up in the air and create a situation, which they clearly did. And obviously people went behind the door for it for a period of time as well. So yeah, maybe if they're not even, are they that smart to be that coercive? I don't know. Like Teacher saying, it might not be that. It was just the fact that they're more opportunists, you know what I mean? And trying to jump on something. And it didn't work out.
I really have...
Go on, Johnny, go on.
Now Teachers just mentioned that. I'm really trying to think about, have we ever really heard of it flipped around? You know, have we? I'm really struggling to think of a time that we've heard of a woman doing that to a man, and it's like I can't think of one. Innit?
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, there must be, but even even going through the research, I didn't see anything on that. I mean, on the man, I found one.
Yeah,
hold on, chap. I saw one thing. There was only one thing I saw on there, and there was a couple of scenarios they gave, and it was this woman. What was her name again? Sally Challen. I don't know if you heard about that, you guys, but it was she got a conviction. She was convicted of murdering her husband, but it was later overturned in 2019. But the case was highlighted, the concept of coercive control and its impact on the victim's mental and emotional well-being. So she got off of that. Fair enough. You understand, right? We agree with that. That's fair, right?
Yeah, of course.
What was that? The bodybuilder woman?
What are you talking about? That thing that we saw the other time? No, I don't think it was that. I'm not sure.
Sure that wasn't.
Well, listen, listen. That documentary that we was Sally, innit? Yeah, remember? No, her. I can't remember what her surname was, you know. But I don't know if it was that. I'm not sure, to be honest. But it could have been her, actually, innit? Now you're thinking about it. But did they? But she done her time though. She done her time. I think she done her time, boss. Go on.
Yeah, she did about what was it, 30 years or, and then her thing got. She cleared she managed to like obviously did her time in it, and then I think she managed to overturn it or something. But what I was getting from that, obviously dead people can't talk in it, so it's like we're hearing her side, but remember there was other people, even her kids were saying some things like, well, sometimes like she used to act like, obviously the man was doing whatever, but she had that type of possessive behavior in it, where if she used to see him chatting to other female bodybuilders, she used to go on a bit on a mad one and get me and be possessive and
Hold on.
and stuff like that.
Hold
That's
on,
the
that
only
woman was
one I could
nuts.
really think of her, but
No, listen. This Sally is not that woman, yeah? This is a next Sally, yeah? This is a next Sally.
okay.
This is a next Sally. But that woman, that one we're talking about, the bodybuilder one, they were on the thingy, my friend. They were active on the hardcore on the roids, weren't they? They were hardcore on the thing, and that's the kind of reaction you get from taking them things, right?
Roids, yes.
Because you remember the part they were talking about the police and they were trying to fight her and all that stuff, and she just what did she do? They dash her down the stairs. They dash her down the stairs, and she just rolled up and said, "Come on then," or something like that. That sounds like some superhero business.
It's true. She's top up about 4 or 5 of them.
that don't sound like no. And listen, that's what they were saying, innit? Because I was watching that the other day. I watched it the other day, and they were saying to the woman, like, "Nah, man, it was like they were saying, my friend, look, you're too big. You're too big to be bullied. Do you understand? That's what they were basically saying. The law, innit?
Oh, is that called? What's that? Killer Sally guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I know.
Don't say anything else where it is and
got
everything.
murdered. I know him. Yeah.
Don't say anything else where it's from. And yeah. That show.
Nah. Didn't say anything, man. But yeah, I'll have to have a look at that one, guy.
Yeah, definitely had to look at it. It's a good one, isn't it, Johnny?
A little good insight, man, to
Oh, did you know him? Because I know you're into that stuff. Artie, did you know the guy? I forgot his name. Ray, innit? Ray was his name, the bodybuilder.
Yeah, I know the guy. Yeah.
He was quite good, wasn't he?
Yeah, because I remember that long time ago, man. Bloody hell. Yeah, that was a long time. But yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, man, I'll have to have a look at that. But they're saying still, though, in the UK, there's still 1.4 million men that sort of have sort of been involved in the coercive control. 2.2 million women. But it's funny, like you said, guys, when you talk to people, you say, do you know anyone? And it's like, no, you don't know, but you know what I mean? But then there must be loads of people. I mean, loads of guys, but yeah, maybe they just don't want to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It's that one where they want to keep it under wraps. Probably they're embarrassed.
Yeah.
They're embarrassed.
It's real still.
It's an embarrassing thing. Sally McNeil. Thank you, listener. Sally McNeil was her name. Cheers, listener.
Sally McNeil. Let me write that down.
Okay.
Thank you. Gracias. Sally McNeil. Yeah. I'll have to have a look at that one. Is it just a one-off?
Just the one thing, but it's a twisty one, innit? It's a twisty show, innit, Johnny? Because you start feeling, you start feeling sorry, and then you just think, hold on, you know what I mean? Say no more. Just go watch it.
You're as much to blame. You're as much to blame. You get it, but
yeah, it was some emotional shit. Listen, emotions, and all that stuff, up and down emotions, and you're on the roids. Not a good combination, you know what I mean? And then people on the edge on the roids anyway, don't tempt them, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's a terrible combination, you know, that industry that they're in and what they have to do, and like you said, the roids and all that other stuff, and yeah, it's crazy. And then if you're in any form of relationship and you're both doing that, that's a recipe for disaster. So yeah, it sounds like way, but you'll have to get at one of butchers, mate. Definitely. Sounds like a mad one. But yeah, no, there is a lot of guys it's happened to. 1.4 million. So yeah. But it's funny when you do look at the list. It is a long list of stuff that it's some real serious stuff in it, like depriving you of basic needs such as food and stuff like that. If you just if you're on that one, then
Well, see that coercive behavior, and you think of certain of them things. Could you say it was would you say it was it could go to a certain group of people?
can do.
Go on, Johnny. I can hear you thinking afterwards, but go on, Artie.
Individual trait. Oh, sorry. No, I said, like you said, it could be like a group of people could coerce indeed, like on a bigger scale of sort of coercing. And also, I think it's
what about
also it could be like an individual trait. Sorry, man, go on.
What about like some kind of what about arranged marriage? Would that come under it, you think?
Religion, yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good shout there, because if you think about it, that individual ain't having any say in who her partner's going to be. Generally, are they? They don't have any say. I don't know. Maybe you could argue some households might be more stricter and sort of more stringent than others, and it might give them a little say. But generally, mate, like you said, I think that's there, mate, because it's just saying to you, all right, this is your husband. You're going to marry him, and you're going to have children with him, and that's about it. You know what I mean?
Go on. Who's gonna? Sorry, go on. No. Go on. Sorry, Johnny.
Go on.
I heard you thinking. Go on. Was you gonna say something?
Yeah, I think it's right what you what you said. Like maybe with the arranged marriage thing, like you said, because it's like I used to know one Asian bro in it, and it's like he was married and it was an arranged marriage, and it's like he did have that control over his wife where he would tell her where to go. She wasn't allowed to work. She would have to stay home, look after the kids, cook. If she was to go out anywhere, she'd have to tell him where he's going, and it's probably down to the shop, and then she's wearing the whole burqa thing, and it's like it's all some control thing, isn't it? Because she's being watched around the clock, what she does and it's like, yeah, that is a controlling thing still.
Yeah, 100%. And just for this is just a message out here for listener here. We're not agreeing here that this was in that documentary, listener. There was that's what they said, innit? That was the law, right? Remember that, Johnny, innit? That's what they said. They said that because of her reaction and how aggressive she was, they thought she was part blame to it. We don't think that. We're just talking about what we saw, okay? Listen, we're not saying that. Obviously, the man was a lot bigger than her and stronger than her, 100%. But we're not condoning that. We're just saying that's what the option she had. Yeah? All right, listener? You get that, guys, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that comes under it as well, the arranged marriage stuff and all that stuff. And when the woman relies on you, definitely when the woman relies on you, you're just dripping whatever she wants, you know what I mean? Give her a little change here and there, but don't give her no power to have her own account and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you said, the key always word is the control, isn't it? That's the key word to all of it. Control, coercive. Like you've got total control, haven't you? And that obviously I don't know people that do want that, but in their sort of particular way of life, shall we say, that is what it is, isn't it? Like he'll have, like you said, he'll have control of finances. He'll work. He'll give a little piece of money every now and again, but not too much. You know what I mean? Generally, the lady will stay at home. and basically just have children in it, you know what I mean, and just stay in the yard, and that's totally controlling because you're not having any option, are you, to go and do something else that you want with your life, you know what I mean? It's like you're just having, sadly, if you're born into that sort of particular way of life and you're a lady, generally, that's kind of what you have to not look forward to, but that's what it is. And that's why you might hear some stories sometimes, in it, when they sort of go on the run sometimes, you know what I mean?
All right, I've got one still. All right, I'm in a situation with my baby mothers there. None of them won't let me see my youths because of certain bad mistakes I've made in life, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that not like a controlling thing? Like, all right, you're messing up your youth's life because of your own ego, rather than just say, all right, cool. Before he made his mistakes, before he went wherever, he was a good dad. You used to see him whenever. And now all of a sudden, you're not seeing the youths in it. You're not seeing your youth in it. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean I can't see my youths? No, you can't, because whatever you've done, you're not seeing your youths in it. I'm like, raw, but is that's what, that not women controlling and mashing up the youths them life, and is that not the coming under the controlling thing?
Good question. Good question. I want to see a comment from listener. Go on, Artie.
I think there's definite sort of controlling point to that. In terms of you're using your child as a weapon, in it. I know someone who didn't see their kid for like 2 years, and had to go court and win a court case and do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? To fight to see his son again through no reason of his own, just because he split up with a partner, and then person created a bag of lies, you know what I mean, and just made it very difficult for him. And going through like 2-3 years of that, I'm sure loads of guys have had to do similar things as well. So I think that has a level of coerciveness in it. So saying, well, boy, if I can't be with you or whatever, and you've done so and so, then that's it. You're not going to see the kids, you know what I mean? So yeah, that is a level of control, isn't it? Definitely.
It is. It's a mad one.
I think
what?
so anyway. So because you're using the child, in it, you're not trying to, you're not seeing no compromise in it. You're not saying, all right, I'll split up with so and so, but still he's the father to the kids. Let's crack on, and you know what I mean, still both be a part of it, of their life. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. And tell us a little bit, Johnny. Yeah, how does that make you feel? Because it's not a small little thing there to use the kids against you. You know, because that's a serious thing there, right? How would that make you feel? You know,
bro, it's. I'm not gonna lie. It's led me to drink more than, because I only really drink on occasions when I go out or
sorry, I thought you was gonna say Sundays. Sorry, I thought you was gonna say I only drink on Sundays. Sorry, go on.
Oh dear.
Sorry, you have to laugh. Go on, sorry, man. But serious things still. But
let's get back on track.
Serious thing though, because that's listen. You can kill for that.
Like, if I'm meeting up with a female or whatnot, I'll have buy a little one bottle of drink or something. But if they don't drink, I'm not gonna bring it around them. You get it? But I'm not gonna lie, because the last time I seen any of my youths properly was, say, 2016. So that's like 7 years on now, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I try and blank it out, but obviously it's a thing. So certain parts of the day, sometimes you'll just be thinking, or you'll look at pictures of your youth and think, "Right, I wonder what they're doing now," and I get me, and certain things, and it's like, I'm not the stupid guy to turn up at the school and just try, and I'm not doing that, in it. But it's like, it is hard. Don't get me twisted. Like I try and put on a front sometimes to people and be like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes it does hit home sometimes and be like, rah, like, what am I gonna have to do this to when? What? My eldest is what? This year, 16 this year. So it is, it does hit home, innit? Because I don't know what the age is where the kid can make up their mind and be like, nah, but yeah.
I think it's 13, Johnny.
Oh, it's 30, you sure?
No,
I think so, yeah, very much, because the thing where my friends have been going, I mean, hopefully, if there's any listeners out there, they can check that, but because of what my friend went through, he's not going to full custody yet, but I'm sure he said when he's 13, when your child's 13, they can decide what they want to do, you know what I'm saying? So maybe even past that already, big man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, anyway,
but
still,
yeah, it's totally controlling, man. It's poor form, mate.
Anyway,
it's poor form.
Still,
doesn't matter what your arguments are with your partner. If you use your kids as a tool, it's controlling, mate.
Tell us, Johnny. Yeah,
go on.
That can seriously make you do some mad shit, right?
100, bro. Don't get it twisted. I've been close to being at that stage where I'm like, you know what, bruv? Like, I'm just gonna because obviously my mom and them lot still get to see the youths them in it. And they're on that thing like, yo, just come round and see the youths. I'm like, nah, don't jeopardize your thing for our thing. And it is a spite thing, like what Artie said earlier on. It all started where basically because they can't have me. It's like a thing like, all right, cool. You're not like you're not seeing your youth, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then after they were drip feeding me, yeah, you can see your youths on the weekend, and then obviously man went away to that little holiday in Spain, and then when I was in there, they changed their number on me, and it's like since I've come out on the outside, it's like it's just no communication, no co-parenting. It's just nothing in it. It's basically their way, and that's it, in it. It's their way or the highway, and it's their way, in it. And it's like it's a control. That's a controlling thing that women got that right, where if they feel they can do something like that, they'll do it, in it. Because I'm sure if I was to say to my mom or someone, tell them I want to make it work with them, God knows they'll say, all right, yeah, but you know what? I'm not fooling myself no more. And it's not gonna work with either or either of them. And I'm not gonna fool myself and go through that again, innit? It's either we do it the proper way, or we just do what you're doing, innit?
All right. Yeah, definitely. Good stuff. One last thing on that thing, Johnny, there. Look, when when you see your pictures, you see the pictures of your kids. Yeah. You see other people with their kids, and you always get that thought of your kids, what they're doing and all that stuff, right?
Of course.
How's that feel?
Brother, a tear comes to my eyes sometimes when I look at pictures, or I could just be out on road or just anywhere and see people with their youths and be like, right, that should be me with my youth, innit? Like, I'm hearing about there's certain sports days are going on for certain kids right now, and I'm thinking, right, I didn't even get to do that with none of my youths. I didn't get to go to none, because before I went on my holiday, I was selfish, so I wouldn't even like entertain the sports dating. But now when I look at it, I'm thinking, raw, like that's a mad thing. I didn't even get to experience that, in it. And it's like it's hard still, but I'm just someone, I don't dwell on things, in it. I just get on with it. But you would have to be a mad person not to have feelings in it and think of certain things, like raw, like to even hear their voice and be like, oh, how are you today? How they even have a conversation, even if I'm not seeing them right now, to have that interaction with them, like, oh, how are you? How was school? You being good? How's things with but man ain't even getting that. So it's like a thing, like I just have to get on with life right now, innit? And just
fingers crossed, Johnny, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and hopefully later on down the line, they come to their senses and they say to my mom, do you know what? We've been wrong. and do you know what? Let the youths come round your yard, and then he can come round and whatever. But bet me, there's only so much my mom can do in it. She's tried to put that forward to them, and they're just on that stubbornness in it. Nah, he's not with me. He's not. Get me. He's with other women, or he's with other woman or whatever. So nah, like, but surely they're seeing and there's the next thing, you got other men, which I understand there's gonna be other men in man's youth's life, but it's hard to. That's what I'm saying. It's just it's a lot, man. It's a lot, and it's just some certain things I try and block out sometimes, but. You don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, innit? You're hearing all these stories come out in the news and stuff, and you don't know what type of people she's got around you and them thing. And it's that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I just drink and just try and just mellow out sometime and just try and get me.
Listen. Everything you do is justified. You understand? You need to do whatever you need to do to get through. You understand? And I know your kids will always come and check you. You understand? They'll come and look for you. That's one thing they can never stop, and that they don't understand. And you go through all the cases of stuff like this, or these women trying to use the kids as a pawn in the game, just to trying to piss you off and all that stuff. The kids will always come back to you, and hopefully in there it might backfire on the women for that. Do you know what I'm saying? All right, listen, Becky Lou, big up Becky Lou. She said she did say she agreed with you, Artie, about they can have their own legal advocate at 13.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, that's good. See John already, and then, 13.
And then yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. We've got listeners all over the place tonight. Listener said a child cannot decide until 16 who they legally want to live with. But also, last one, the women shouldn't be the gatekeepers of the kids, you know? Just because the woman is the mother, turn down your volume there, old chap. Just because the woman's the mother doesn't necessarily mean she's going to do the right thing, you understand? So I respect what you said there, Johnny, you understand? Because you talk from the heart there, and I back that 100%, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, big up Johnny, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's move. Let's. Bad thing. It's a bad thing. The coercive control, 100%. Doesn't matter for whoever's doing it. It's a disgusting thing, and it's a big thumbs down for we. You know what I'm saying, right, guys?
Bro, 100%. Garbage, 100%.
All right, let's move on because that was good, and we're getting deep on that. Let's move on. Let's talk about that man pulling down his pants.
Oh yeah,
remember that silly man? What was his name again?
That silly guy. That silly guy there.
That silly guy
doing his little pose, innit? Posing up the place on Twitter.
He's out there posing like some woman, posing like some bitch out there. What's wrong with him?
No, he's had a breakdown now, though, isn't he? He's had a breakdown, mate. I mean, must have been he saw himself in the mirror, but now I shouldn't say that, but
Listen, this man, what was his name again? Sorry, this BBC man that got done for the madness.
Oh, Hugh
Edwards.
Right, this guy. What the hell is wrong with him, and why are they trying to hide him out and try? Man's on $500,000 a year. You know that?
Yeah, he's been doing that for 20 years, bro.
$500,000 for 20 joints. You understand? And he's trying to drop it like he's got some issues. Shame. Come on, man. Shame him up, guys. Come on, shame him.
I mean, they said he paid 35 grand for photos of a young man, but this is where the confusion lies. In the story's breaking as 23, but then there's other talk saying that he was giving the guy the 35k when he was 17, and the parents weren't happy. Yeah, so there's some conjecture whether it's 17 or 23, you know. But yeah, some crazy stuff, and then there's other bits and pieces breaking. There was another guy that was sort of been involved along the lines of this kind of nonsense going on. So yeah, shameless stuff really. And then it's like his wife come out, because there was speculation, wasn't there, for ages, and then Basically, after he done the silly picture, wasn't it, that was on there?
Wait.
Yeah, his wife come out and said, yeah, it was my husband, blah blah blah, and he's had a funny turn, and he's in a mad at, you know what I mean, and all this stuff. I was like, that seems very convenient.
Do we agree with the wife shopping him, guys?
Yeah.
I think her shopping him was just a case of like it was the worst kept secret. So it's going to come out anyway. The Sun have already got their story ready. The Sun have been heavily criticised for their story, which is no surprise anyway, because the Sun's it's a comic anyway, isn't it?
Let's not even talk that name anyway, over here. Let's not even just call it the toilet paper, old chap. Let's just call it the toilet paper. Let's not even call that name over here, yeah?
Bog roll.
Say the toilet roll. We know what you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on. Did the okay, it was okay for her to do that. I mean, shit, I think it was fine for her to do that. You know what I mean? No problem. But what's up with these people? I was gonna say something funny, but we'll say just that company. What's up with that company? Why are they always churning out these dodgy fuckers? What's going on up there?
Well, it's like it's been happening for eternity. And I was reading before, even before these guys, and there, as you've known previously, there's been guys before, guys way before that done way more apparently. Then there was a guy from a popular religious program that used to be on there. You know what I mean? He was exposed a while back, man. You know what I mean? You know the popular religious program that used to be on there every Sunday.
Yeah.
What Sunday? What Sunday? Yeah. Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, you know the time when you just had to turn the telly off, mate. If you weren't in a religious family, you turn it over. Or yeah, but he was a very famous guy from that, and he's been exposed. No, really, his old cases, like, you know what I mean. And it's like you said, it's so many. It's like an institution of nastiness. You know what I mean.
They need to clean that place out, clean out the halls, wash out everybody. You know what? Just get rid of the thing and start a proper thing again. I lie.
And that's the thing we pay money for. Well, if you have a TV license,
yeah,
you pay $1, and you know what I mean.
Hey, don't you find it funny? Go on.
No, go on. No, I was just saying that's the only thing you pay $1 for as well.
Don't you find it funny though? One person, obviously, we know about man like Schoolfield, yeah. Don't we know? You know, it's funny that one story, and then all of a sudden we get like one sets off, and then this one, and then that one, and then that one, and it's all, to me, it doesn't sit right, man. It's like what's really going on here, man?
I think just because these guys now are not as smart as they try to behave like they are. Like you said, this fella here doing those sort of pictures on, you know what I mean, on a massive social media platform. As much as he's earning all that money a year, he's not the smartest at it. You know what I mean? You're doing that, but do what you do, I suppose, to a point. If it's not, you know, underage, whatever, I don't care. But the fact that you what's that thing you're doing? Your pants around your ass, mate. You know what I mean?
You know what, right? Listen. You know what, right? I don't think that these guys. I think these guys are looked after. You understand? I think everybody knows.
100%,
I think everybody knows what they're doing. Yeah, because the way he's so brazen with that pose, to put that pose out like he didn't. Like he was a normal civilian, you understand, and no backlash was going to come to him. I think all of them are like that. If you think of all of them previous people that been doing them dodgy business,
100%.
they've all been. Look at that, the other man with the gold, with the rings and all that stuff. That man, he was blatant with the thing, and everybody knew about it, and and nobody didn't say nothing. I think these people need to go down as well. You understand?
Yeah. I mean, a certain other guy spoke out about him in the 70s, and he was sort of subsequently banned from the Beeb, you know what I mean? A very famous old rock.
That was Mr. Rotten, wasn't it?
That's right, bro. They took him off.
Listen, we can call his name, yeah, because he done the right thing, and he done the thing that everybody should be doing. from
Yeah.
then all the way till now. Because listen, even that man that Johnny just said, yeah, that man that Johnny just said, everybody knew what he was doing and still sit in that position of not saying nothing.
Not saying one, innit? Exactly. Everybody knew. It's clear as day, mate, what the geezer was up to. He was just brazen as well, do everything and anything, you know what I mean? He had the keys to that institution, innit? Trust me, because he was their number one guy. And he was their gold mine, and that's how scandalous it is, that because he's their gold mine, they'll do anything to keep him on there, you know what I mean? And let him do anything.
All right, listen.
Even worse, you know what I mean?
Listen, can I listen? You see the man with the gold with the gold rings, yeah?
Yeah.
Did he get charged criminally for that?
No, never, no.
So he didn't get charged criminally, did he, for that, right?
No.
So there was
after there was stuff that broke after.
The after thing is after. They didn't charge him after, did they? Because he was brown bread, wasn't he?
Brown bread, man.
Right. So they didn't charge him afterwards. So he didn't get no criminal charges, no wrongdoing done through the law, right?
He wrote it off, mate.
Did you get that, listener? Yeah. Did you get that, listener? Because listener said, "Hang on, still haven't found no criminal charges or wrongdoing against this new BBC guy." Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, he went and checked himself in, right? So what did he check himself in for?
Why has he got into he's having a moment there?
What's all this pants down business for?
He didn't check in before. He didn't check in before, did he?
Then he's had this moment now. She said he's suffering from severe mental depression.
It's the moment when the story came out. Oh yeah, I need to check into the. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, it does seem like that. I mean, look, you never know. Like,
no, we don't know. We don't know.
The devil's advocate. I don't believe, by the way. I think there's a little bit more sinister involved. People believe it or not, but the fact that you check yourself into it, as almost soon as the story broke, not as soon as the story broke, but basically around there, that stinks. That stinks to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, you could say, it's something really wrong with him. His missus said, she come out and said he's what did he say? He had a severe episode, she said.
So what's up? Was he watching some show? Was he watching a series or something? He was watching some series or something.
I'm gonna stop watching that Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. But yeah, guaranteed, yeah, he hasn't been charged or nothing. He ain't, but listen, it's all the same blueprint. It's coming from the same blueprint. It's coming from the same people where they do the same thing, where they've been masking it up for years, and what? He's running and hiding straight away. You know what I mean? Under the guise of what? Mental health or some kind of rubbish. You know what?
That's the problem.
Just set him somewhere. If it
was just one case, you'd say, all right, he might have some issues, but the fact that the track history of that institution with dealing with issues of nastiness is so poor. It's just like like you said, nothing ever happens, innit? Nothing ever happens. So that's why, all right, he's not been charged with anything criminally, because that's what I was saying earlier, because he paid for these images. He paid this guy 35 grand, but the thing that it breaks down to 23 or 17, isn't it? If he was 17, then that is definitely not a good look. You know, I mean, 23 is different, but 17 is that. But the fact, like you said, as soon as the story breaks, he's having a severe episode.
Listen.
But you didn't have the episode before. You didn't have it.
Listen. If this is a question for you two, yes, for answer one at a time, yeah. If you got blown up like this, yeah, and you didn't do nothing wrong, okay, everything is a legitimate, yeah. You was sharing your ass to some whatever, yeah. You were sharing your ass to whatever, but it's all legit and legal. What would you ride and hide, or what would you do? Would you jump up? Would you jump up? Would you hide what he's done? Would you jump up and just say, "Look, I'm fucking free to do what I like"? You understand?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
an adult.
Or
like
what
would you do?
If I've got nothing to hide, I'm coming up there saying, "Look, I've done what I've done in it. Like there's nothing to hide. Whatever the keys, that's it done." But the fact, like you said, you duck for cover, mate. It's not a great look.
On
But
Johnny.
the way I see it, if there's nothing to hide, there wouldn't be no story. You get it? So there obviously there's something being done wrong. Because look, it's like you said, if me or Artie was to do something like that and is all above board, there wouldn't be no story. You get it? It would just be an embarrassment, innit? That's what
Of
it would be.
course.
It'd be like, raw. Like to your wife and kids, and have to be like, oh, rah, I'm sorry, innit? I made a mistake, but it's all above board, innit? Like you haven't done nothing wrong. Just the fact it's being called into disrepute. Something's been it's been this because what? How old do you have to be to send those images? What's it? Is it 18? 20? What is it? 18?
I think it's 18, innit? I think it's 18, but
So already,
I'm sure listener will let us know.
You just know they're saying the youth 17. So already there's been a line crossed. You get it? So it's just so mad.
Yeah, disgusting behavior. Anyway, let's get off of this crazy people, yeah? Yeah, a big L, a big fat L for that one there. Big fat L for that one. All right. So, right, anybody else, anyone who doesn't want to listen to football or anything, just go now. You can just leave now. What's going on with the football, guys? Anything? Any sports? Hey, listen. I heard say you guys are getting Johnny Evans. What's going on, bruv?
No, that's a wrap. Nothing's happening there, man. No, not at all. Nah, that's dead, man. Nothing in that. That was I don't know where that came from. I see where it came from, but nah, nothing's happening. No, thankfully. You know what I mean? No, not too much movements at the moment. Having a look about. What was sports-wise? Tennis.
Oh, the final. Yeah. The final, yeah.
Alcaraz was a nice final. That one.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't want the Spanish to win. To be honest, I did not want the Spaniard to win.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I hear that. It was a good one, man. It was a good one. I thought Djokovic he was a bit below himself. His first set was decent, but he seemed to get a bit frustrated within the match and it was like he was reaching for it, you know what I mean? A little bit too much, possibly. And my man just weren't going away, innit? And maybe the younger
he battles for every shot, man. That young he can just he runs down everything, man. Where Djokovic is used to hitting winners and stuff, this guy's running down everything, man. It just shows you, innit, what, about 16 years difference. You can just see the young blood in it. You can just see the fire in him, innit? And where Djokovic beat him in the semi-final of the French Open, it's like this guy's just thinking, all right, you think you're on clay, you had it that day, but watch me and you know.
You know what?
It's a good fight, man. It was better than the fucking women's final, man. That women's final was dross, man.
You know what though? Yeah. You know what? Listen, I remember I was talking to you, John, and I said, nah, I ain't gonna watch it, but I watched it still, yeah. And he wasn't hitting them shots. I remember I was looking at Djokovic. He wasn't hitting them corners all the time. He was trying to play that hit it back to him business, isn't it?
Yes.
He weren't at his best, innit? I think maybe, I don't know if the occasion got to him because he's been in that so many times, innit? You know what I mean? He knows the game. He was going for his 5th Wimbledon in a row, innit? So that's a big feat in itself because Borg done it, you know what I mean? So that's a tough one as well. But I think, he was a little bit within himself, innit? Like, he weren't quite hitting the lines. He was quite a lot of unforced errors from him, you know what I mean? He's a man that never makes mistakes, innit? Like, he just don't make unforced errors, innit? That's why. And it's like, but he was just a little bit beneath himself. And my man played a good match. And it was a long one, innit? Nearly, just under 5 hours, isn't it?
5 hours.
Yeah, but like I said, that was entertaining. The ladies' final with the Czech lady one. I mean, fair play to her, but wasn't entertaining stuff really. But yeah, the ladies. She was what was she? She was the first unseeded woman ever to win it, isn't it?
To win it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like she's rubbish. She's like 41, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Good. I just don't rate that other woman that was playing that Tunisian woman. I don't rate her.
I like her, man, but she just can't control her emotions, innit? Her emotions, she started crying, innit, in that match, mate. And she has to control it.
Crying as well. She started bawling after the team.
Yeah, but in the match, like there was a point in the game when she was getting back on top, or in the second set, and it's like she got to break up, and then she lost it, and then she's just start putting the towel over her head, just scrunching up the towel hard in her hands. So she's been in 3 slam finals in the last 2 years, but she's lost them all. Yeah, so. Mate, I mean, you know, other players have, like I said, other great players have lost 1 or 2, but you can't keep losing them, innit? You know what I mean? You don't know sort of when those chances are coming around, and that's 3, innit? That's back-to-back Wimbledons, you know what I mean, as well. But yeah, her mentality, mate, is just she's too fragile, mate. You can't be just crying, you know what I mean? Just in the middle of the match, mate. You're well in the match, you know what I mean? And that's it, mate. Yeah, so it wasn't the greatest final. But yeah, man, good men's one. You know what I mean? What else has been happening? That match, bit of some ladies boxing, weren't there, on at the weekend? Was it Bumgardner?
Yeah, she won on points.
What did you call me?
What you saying, Willis?
You call me, man?
Isn't it Bumgardner? But yeah, now we're waiting, innit, for the big one, end of the month, for the boxing for the Spence and Crawford 29th.
Yeah.
Not too far away. I see BT are trying to have that pay-per-view for a score.
Serious?
Yeah.
They would, innit? They fucking would, fucking pricks.
But to be fair, not that I will pay anything for it, but for that ain't bad if they're charging like some other money for them big heavyweight joints, like 25, 30 quid, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
That's a fight you'd want to see, you know what I mean? So you have to look out for that one. Who else is on there? Oh, no, there's UFC as well on that night as well. So there's a good bit of combat and sports on the 29th. I mean, for anyone, I can't remember. That is a good build of UFC as well. Oh, that was. Now go on, John. Go on, pal.
You seen Fury's going to be fighting the fucking, was it Ngannou or whatever? I don't know. What's wrong with these people, man?
Yeah, he's getting the Saudi money, innit? Getting the
Crazy.
Saudi money.
They're saying he might have to vacate his belt because look how long he hasn't defended it for, and now he's gonna go and fight Ngannou or whatever. It's something madness.
Yeah, but I see him, John. Excuse my French listeners. It's ball bags, mate. It's because I see the WB. You know, he's the most corrupt sport because it's a sport I love, but it is the most corrupt. And I see the WBC president, he was just saying it's cool. It's like he's fighting this guy. It's like, how is it cool? He's not fighting, mate. He's had 2 fights in 3 years now.
Is that it?
Yeah, it's like 2 fights in 3 years, isn't it? Nearly. He fought.
You have to vacate that, man. You have to be fighting at least minimum.
You know what I'm saying?
At least minimum once every 8 months or something, man. You can't be fighting. You're telling me he's fighting twice in 3 years. That's once every 18 months. But nah, man, you have to come better than that, man.
Yeah, and the people he fought, he's like white.
It's light work for him. Look, Dillian last year and flipping Del Boy. It's stupid. My word.
Del Boy, innit?
And they're saying what? They got U6 fighting Dubois.
To me, that's a mismatch. Dubois is going to get his ass handed to him, mate. You never know. Like Frank Warren's like talking it up, like he's going to knock him out. Couldn't knock out Joyce, mate. You know what I mean? Couldn't knock out Joyce. He got punch up by Joyce, innit?
Yeah.
Got punch up, and he's going to come to Usyk now.
And on the 12th of August, you got the fucking Joshua and Dillian fucking hell, man.
You got part 2.
Sure. And then
let's just hope for a tear up, innit? Let's just hope. All we can do is hope for a tear up, innit? Just hope.
And then in September, you got Joyce fighting that Chinese man again, innit? It's all, but this sport is just, it's ridiculous, man.
It's just a heavyweight gentleman, innit? I think that's the issue, innit? It's not what it used to be, and it's a joke thing, really. Sad as it is. I mean, I agree the guys should get paid the lion's share of the money, but it's all got a bit silly, innit? And they were just like kid stuff, innit? Back and forth on their social, on the IFL TV, always having a go at each other, you know what I mean? And this one says that. It's like, mate, just get some fights going. But chances are you won't. But yeah, there's other good fights. There's one, innit? Was it September the 1st, the Eubank rematch?
Oh, and that guy he lost to, innit?
Smith,
What's his
yeah,
name?
part 2.
Smith. Yes.
Part 2. I know they were talking about the Conor Ben thing, but I don't know.
Nah, I think they were talking about that in Saudi or
Yeah,
somewhere,
because
but
he can't fight in England still. But
yeah, he's allowed to fight over there. But I don't think that's gonna happen for now, anyway. But the Fury and Ngannou thing's happening in Saudi as well, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. That is also all the money's over there right now, man.
that's what. Did you hear the conversation with? I can't remember the guy. Is it Adam Catterall? He was on Talk Sport, and he was talking.
Yeah, he had an argument with Frank
Warren, yeah.
Started swearing and shit, yeah.
Yeah, because Frank Warren said you just talk a load of bollocks and that. And he said, well, but you're saying there's no boxers to fight. There's none out there. Like, not even take away the big names, whatever. There's other fighters you can fight, you know what I mean? Ruiz, whatever. Not great fights, but at least they're boxers, you know what I mean? But I understand the money, in it. That's the thing, isn't it? How much money he's getting. I mean, you know, one thing I'd say is good luck to Ngannou because he seems like a generally decent geezer. You know what I mean? He comes across, you know what I mean, quite humble and that, you know what I mean, to a point. So if he's getting paid, he deserves it because he didn't get paid in the UFC, you know what I mean? He got bumped in the UFC. That's why he left it, innit?
Doesn't my man still owe Dubois money? Who owes Dubois money still? Is it Hearn or
Don King, he owes him $1 million, innit?
Yeah. Don King owns Dubois money. It's what I'm saying. It's all crazy, man.
Yeah, he put on the fight against. I don't know if anyone out there. It was a fight against Trevor Bryan at some mad hotel in I don't know, Vegas, but something. It wasn't even a hotel. So anyway, and it was like no one was there, and yeah, it was supposed to be some form of WBA eliminator. And he won, and he was due 1.4, and then I think he paid him like 300k.
Shit.
And that's it, mate. He's just said he's owed him that money for a long now, mate. Must be like well over a year or something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you know, Don King, innit? If you can, like, he's 90 now, mate, and he's still trying to do deals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, it's sad though, isn't it? Like, that's what that sport's come to with certain aspects, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like,
you know what?
Getting his head smashed in, and you're not paying him his money. You know what I mean?
You know what? It is what it is, my friend. For so many years, they've been taking the piss. The promoter's been always holding it, strangling it through their hands, and making sure they got whatever they want and give a shit about anybody else. And now this UFC came up and under them and just stole the light. And then now this Logan Paul business come up now and it turns into this, and everybody gets what they want. So you know what? For me, I'm happy about it. You understand? Because it's all about these guys bring the entertainment. It's not the promoter. The promoter don't do shit, and anybody can promote, and you don't even need to promote anyway because you're gonna watch the fight anyway. Who don't want to see people throwing some fists and getting punch up?
Serious thing.
Anybody can see that. Nobody. They don't even need the promoter. So these guys are pimping them and taking the piss. So you know what? Come out the thing. And on that note, yeah, we're looking to lock off, guys. Thank you very much. It was really good one. Big up Johnny there for that. Yeah, I liked what you
big
said
up Johnny,
today.
man. Big up,
man.
Yeah, always on the Percy, and when you drop the Percy, second to none. You understand? Second to none.
Of course.
Big up Artie, always in the building. Thank you very much, guys.
Man.
Bless.
All blessed to you guys, man.
Bless up Becky. Big up Becky, Lou. Always on point. And big up listener's been on point today, dropping bare messages and everything. So yeah, bless up everyone, and we're out.
See ya.
Bless.